Hi, today we are here at the San Diego Zoo, located of course in San Diego, California. So come with me and let's see what they got here at the zoo. Okay, so the first animal that we are seeing here at the zoo are American flamingos. You can see it's a whole pod of around 30 to 40 members. They are quite beautiful. The pink colors on their feathers is due to the pigmentation that they get from the food they eat, which is basically algae, and they pick up all that algae by digging their faces in and using their beaks like kind of shovels to feed on it. We also have here an Angolan colobus monkey. Well, this is a whole herd. These monkeys are mainly found in the forests of Congo in Africa. And unfortunately, they can be a common prey for, believe it or not, chimpanzees. Chimpanzees don't just eat fruits and insects, they can also eat meat, and they'll tear these monkeys apart, literally. Here in this exhibit, we have the Schmidt's red-tailed monkey and the mandrill. Over there is a mandrill. That is the largest species of monkey, and they're more commonly and most people confuse them with baboons, which they have a similar appearance, but they are still pretty different. That is basically a male. The females are the ones with the less color in their faces. And on the other side of the exhibit, there's the Schmidt's monkey. I see one, and I think there's one moving around there in the trees. But okay, it's oh there it is. There it is. I hope you guys can see it well. Well, we can see this one if you want. Here we have the Pygmy hippopotamus. It's right over there. It's also another name for it is the dwarf hippo. It's related to the common or river hippopotamus. Believe it or not, it lives in the Congo forest of Africa, and it is much less aquatic than its bigger cousin. But they still love the water nonetheless. Here we have also a type of monkey known as the tufted capuchin. It's right there. I can see it from far away. I could also probably see it from down there, but this is the first sighting I have of it. Here we can see a whole small group of these tufted capuchins. They're just feeding and resting for a bit. They are cute, aren't they? Here we have some different types of birds, and this small aviary. I think that one. I think that one over there that I see is the Egyptian plover. And let's see if I can find some other birds. There's there, and I kind of lost sight of them. I can only see these. I found an aviary with all these different types of birds. They are quite noisy, as you can hear them. I'll give you a bit of time to be able to read the names of all these birds. Let's see what we can find. Here we have the African slender-snouted crocodile and a fish known as the African cichlid. Okay, sorry if you can see me here in the glass. Those are the fish, the cichlids, and there you can see, how about here? There's the crocodile, and it's swimming away. Wow. Michael, Noah. Our next animals after seeing a few of those reptiles would be the gorilla. And the species here is known as the western gorilla. Okay, so you can see a few gorillas. They're just resting, hanging out. There's the male resting in the shade, and it seems that the females are sleeping. They are amazing. The largest primates in the world. One male alone has the strength of 6 grown men. Okay, we are about to enter the section of the zoo known as the Elephant Odyssey. Of course, it features elephants and other types of animals, but one other thing that interests me about this section of the zoo is that it also features prehistoric animals, more specifically, animals that existed in Southern California about 32,000 years ago. For example, here, the extinct giant short-faced bear. And here is a representation of what is known as a tar pit. Tar pits are like pits of tar where animals unfortunately get stuck in, but they represent great fossils of animals that existed back then, like mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and the sort. Okay, we also, here at the Elephant Odyssey, we can see a statue of the extinct American lion. This was an ancient relative of the African lion itself, and you can see just how big it actually was. And of course, the surviving relative today of the American lion is the African lion. Look at that. That is a male. It's sleeping with its tongue sticking out. The top predator of the African plains. They can be able to sleep of up to 18 hours a day. Look at that. Despite how lazy it seems, it can still kill you with one scratch of its claws. Another statue presented here is one of the extinct Colombian mammoth. That is a statue, live scale statue of the Colombian mammoth, as you can see. When most people think of mammoths, they might think of the woolly one covered in hair, but this, as you can see, this is one species that did not have any hair on its body, and besides, if it did, it would probably die of heat strokes. And of course, the living relative today of the Colombian mammoth is the African bush elephant. There you can see it. The largest land animal in Africa. There are 2 currently, as you can see, and they are beautiful. They really are. Another extinct relative of the elephant is the extinct Pygmy mammoth. And you can see, of course, it was pretty small compared to the elephants as of now. Another animal that we have here at the Elephant Odyssey is the jaguar. And its extinct relative is also a type of jaguar from the Pleistocene. We finally have a good look at the jaguar. It's sleeping. This is the top predator of the Amazon and South America in general. They feed on almost anything. They are even capable of hunting crocodiles, if you can imagine that. This here, we can find Cavendish's dik-dik. Yeah, it's pretty small. They're one of the smallest antelope species in the world. And their closest living relative is the dwarf pronghorn. As you can see, this is just a life-size statue. Here we can find a life-size statue of the Jefferson's ground sloth, with its closest relative being the Lynn's toad sloth. There you can see, this is the sloth. It's really, it's not the normal sloth you would find in the trees. This was although it was a herbivore, but it could also have a diet that consisted of carrion and could even fight off predators like saber-toothed cats. Here in another exhibit, we have the Baird's tapir, and it had an extinct relative of the California tapir. There's a tapir, and there's a little cat by its side. These might be the largest land animal in Central America. As you can see, despite the nose, they're not related to pigs or even elephants. Their actually closest living relatives are rhinos. And the trick and the key to identifying its family tree is not on the trunk or even its face, but the hooves. We should also be seeing here the capybaras, and it had the extinct relative of the North American capybara. And here in another exhibit, I was able to find the capybaras. These are the largest rodents in the world. They can mostly be found in the Amazonian rainforest of South America. And the thing is, their closest living relatives are guinea pigs. But they live like hippos because they love the water. Another life-size statue that we have here at the Elephant Odyssey is one of the saber-toothed cats, who unfortunately has no living relatives. And here it is. This is a life-size statue of the saber-toothed cat. Like I said before in the poster, currently has no living relatives today. It's not related to lions, tigers, or leopards, or cougars, or no one. This was a type of cat known as macarodonts, which unfortunately went extinct in the last ice age. We also have a life-size statue of the giant short-faced bear, with its current relative being the grizzly bear and the largest bear to have ever existed. And this is it. It makes the grizzly bear look small, as you can see. Damn, it's huge. Another statue that we have here is one of the American cheetah, which its living relative today is the African cheetah. Yeah, as you can see, this is the life-size statue of the American cheetah. It was at least twice the size of its African relative today. As you can check it out. This here is the California pond turtle. They can, even though their name is turtle, they are actually it seems that they may be a type of terrapin. Terrapin is basically a semi-aquatic turtle, but it did not develop flippers the way that sea turtles do. Over here is the statue of the dire wolf, with its living relative today being the gray wolf. Yeah, so this is the dire wolf. It's the largest known wolf to have existed. It was one of the top predators of America, alongside the saber-toothed cats and lions. And cavemen back then domesticated the dire wolf and turned them into the many breeds of dogs that we know today. Here we can find the burro and the dromedary camel, with its extinct relative being the western camel. This here is the dromedary camel. It's known as a dromedary because it only has one hump. The one that has two humps is known as the Bactrian camel. And dromedary camel is originally from the deserts of Africa and Asia, but it has been domesticated worldwide. And there is the burro on the other side of the exhibit. It's having its space for now. Here you can see the western camel. This is an extinct American relative of the camel, as you can see. Here in this exhibit we have the guanaco and the llama, with its extinct relative being the large-headed llama. There you can see the llamas and one of the guanacos. They are currently resting by their side. Llamas and guanacos are actually also close living relatives of the camel, which we saw earlier. We should also be able to find in this exhibit the California condor, with the example being, of course, a California condor, and the common raven. Here we can see a raven. It's currently, it seems to be panting in the shade, or I honestly don't know what it's doing. Okay, we come back a while later. We finally see the California condor, the largest flying bird in existence. The San Diego Zoo has played a great part in saving this species. There are now at least around 300 to 400 members in the wild. We also have here a life-size statue of Merriam's Territorn, which unfortunately has no living relatives today. As you can see, this was a big bird of prey. It may look like it's related to condors or eagles or other birds of prey, but unfortunately it has none. Let's see if we can find in this exhibit some slender-tailed meerkats. There is one meerkat resting in the shade. That is Timon from The Lion King. And they do have a diet that consists mainly of insects, but they can also eat a bit of plants. And it seems that there's one moving over there in the bush, and they can even feed on small lizards. Here we can find a serval. There's one. It's with just its ears sticking out. This is a cat that is found in the African plains. It kind of looks like a cheetah, but it's still a different type of cat. Okay, next up we should be able to find some rock hyraxes. You can see the klipspringer. There's a dwarf mongoose over there. And the hyrax is over there. Let's see if we can find the klipspringer. And there are some klipspringers. These are some small species of antelope, and they are incredibly skilled jumpers and mountain climbers. Okay, well, more specifically, rock climbers. Okay, after exiting the Elephant Odyssey, we seem to have entered the Africa rock section, where we can first encounter some Hamadryas baboons. And there you can see them in the back. I think those are a couple of males and females in the wild. In the wild, it's mostly just one male taking care of a whole herd of females, and with all of their youngs. All of them are the males. These can be some voracious primates. They feed on fruits, grass, insects, and even small animals. Here we can find some geladas. Over there we can see in the shade some geladas. These are some close relatives of the baboons.
Subspecies of the baboon.
Subspecies of baboon. Thank you, my brother. And they are believe it or not, they are more adapted to be living in mountains with lots of grass around.
Están comiendo.
Here we can find the leopard.
Camina como fácil en el cuarto. Buscando sustancias.
Oh wow, I can see it.
There we can see a red rough lemur. It seems to be feeding on a stick of grass. I don't know if it's bamboo or not, but they are critically endangered species of lemur. There we can finally see a sleeping fossa, the top predator of Madagascar, and they are the main predators of the lemurs. Okay, here in this exhibit we can be able to find some African penguins. They are one of the smallest species of penguin, but they're not the smallest. And of course they can be found in Africa. They are not capable of living in savannas or deserts. They live in the coasts mainly of South Africa.
¿Quiere agua? Cuando más chiquito, ¿no?
Okay, here we can find some siamangs and orangutans. And they are both in the same exhibit together. You can see the orangutans and there you can see the siamangs. The siamang are a species of gibbon, and the orangutan are the largest tree-dwelling animal on the planet. Look at that one go. And there you can see the siamangs. They literally have hands for feet.
Right here. Do they ever have babies?
Here we can find the species of pig known as North Sulawesi babirusa. They are common mainly in Southeast Asia.
Oh, that's fun.
This is the Malayan tapir. It's a it's an Asian species.
Asian species. That's cool.
Here at the zoo, we can find some Malayan tigers. And there you can see it. This is the Malayan tiger. It's one of the largest big cats alive today, but the largest living species of tiger is the Siberian tiger, which unfortunately is not here at the zoo, but we have to deal with the Malayan. Here in this exhibit, we should be able to find the Okapi. It's right there in the back, but wait, there's another one. These are the closest living relatives of the giraffes, whether you believe it or not. The key to their relation is actually in the head. They have horns on their head that are similar to the giraffes, and despite their necks resembling that of a zebra, but they are still giraffe relatives, and they are found in the jungles of Africa.
Another one.
Here we can find a hippo. This is the largest. This is one of the largest land animals in Africa, and to humans, the most dangerous animal in Africa because they are capable of killing almost anything. Even crocodiles fear them in the water. And despite their slow appearance, they can be incredibly fast, faster than the average human running, and they actually can have an omnivorous diet. You should be able to find here the Schmidt's red-tailed monkey, Allen's swamp monkey, and the Red River hog. Okay, there I see the hog. It's foraging, and I don't know if you can see it, but there in the rocks there is one of the monkeys. Oh, there it is. I think you can see it moving. Yeah, there it is. And it's hardly there. It's right there, I promise you. And there you can definitely see it now. And there's the other type of monkey.
All right, we're gonna walk
See it?
back down.
There we can find a sleeping koala bear. Even though they're not technically bears, they're a type of marsupial. They are found only in Australia, sleep a lot of the time, and their diet consists mainly of eucalyptus leaves. Eucalyptus leaves are a poisonous plant to, unfortunately, a lot of animals, but koalas have some kind of chemical in their system that allows them to digest this type of leaf. Here in this exhibit, you can be able to find the Maasai giraffe and Nubian submarine gazelle. There you can see a gazelle. It seems to be going in for a drink of water. And there is the giraffe. It's the tallest animal on the planet. Some specimens, individuals have been known to stand up more than 6 meters tall. Just imagine that. And one kick of them is powerful enough to even kill a lion. And that's a type of gazelle. It's one of the most common animals that you can find in the plains of Africa. Here we can find the greater one-horned rhinoceros, or another term for them is the Indian rhinoceros. There you can see it. It's in its exhibit, resting in the water. These rhinos are really common in the jungles of India, so they are pretty adapted to life in the water. Here in this exhibit, believe it or not, you can find the domestic donkey and grand zebra. There's the zebra as you can see it. They're one of the most common herds you can find in the plains of Africa, and their closest living relatives are not horses, but donkeys, as you can see there. This is a domestic donkey. This donkey is actually an animal ambassador, which represents the conservation of zebras here at the San Diego Zoo. Yeah, the donkey is pretty cute, but sometimes it can be such an ass. That's a joke. Okay, here we can find the South African crested porcupine. They're over there sleeping. These are one of the largest porcupine species in the world. Those quills help it to defend itself against predators like leopards and lions. And if a predator is not too careful, those quills will stick to its body. So that would leave a mark. Okay, here we can find the red panda. There's the little guy. It's sleeping on the trees. Believe it or not, this is not related to the giant panda. It's actually a distant relative of the raccoon, whether you can believe it or not. currently sleeping, but and look at it. Okay, here we can find the South African cheetah. There is a cheetah. That is the fastest land animal on Earth. And it's sticking its tongue out to be as a way like panting through the heat. And it just prefers to rest up for a bit. They are amazing. Here we can find the sloth bear. This is the real Baloo from the Jungle Book movies, or books. As you can see, it looks nothing like a grizzly bear. They do have a diet that consists of fruit, insects, a bit of meat, and they can still be pretty dangerous to humans. But damn, it's beautiful. Okay, here we can find the North American grizzly bear. There it is. It's sleeping in the ground. Let me sit in the rocks. That is the largest species of brown bear and possibly the most common species. Oh, you just heard one of the bears making a puff noise, and believe it or not, their main diet consists mainly of fruits and berries, and their main protein source can mainly be salmon that they can find on the migrating rivers of Alaska. And look at that, there's another grizzly bear just resting there in the water. He's living his moment. He's enjoying the moment. Here we can finally have a good look at the ring-tailed lemurs. These are possibly the most popular and common species of lemur known. They are known as Madagascar, and of course they're called ring-tailed lemurs because their tails looks like they have white rings or black rings. There we can see the Andean bear just sleeping with its head hanging out, but he just doesn't care. He just wants to rest. Just like almost every other bear species in the planet. We are now looking at some Komodo dragons. This is the Komodo dragon, the largest living lizard alive today. Of course, they are native only to the Isles of Komodo next to Indonesia. And they have venom in their saliva. So when they bite their prey, like goats, cows, or even people, the venom starts to take effect, temporarily paralyzing their prey, and they go through the habit of swallowing them whole or in chunks.
Every turtle shell contains 60 bone.
Up here, we finally have the largest living species of tortoise, the giant Galapagos tortoise. And yeah, they are huge. Some of these have been known to live up to 200 years old. They are mainly found in the Isles of Galapagos, and which of course is where they get the name, and they are considered a vulnerable species. So a lot of conservation projects are an effort to be able to save this ancient but gorgeous species. Okay, here in this exhibit, we should be able to find the binturong. And it's there right there. Another name for the binturong can be bear cats, mainly because due to their similarities, but they are not related to either bears or cats. They are their own type of carnivore. They are mainly found in the jungles of Southeast Asia. Here we should be able to find the caracal. There it is. There's the caracal. It is easily identifiable because of its black pointy ears. It can be found in the grasslands of Africa. Here we can find a small naked mole rat. They're just feeding. Damn it, it looks like they're basically blind. They are incredibly adapted to life underground, so they might not need sunlight to survive. Here we should be able to see the fennec fox. Okay, there's one that is the smallest canine species in the world. That includes dogs, wolves, all species of foxes, but they have a huge ears in proportion to their body size, which helps them to regulate the temperature that they get from the deserts of Africa that they live in. Okay, there you can see some prairie dogs. Even though the name, they're not related to dogs or even dogs. They're a type of rodent. They call them that because when they make a yelping noise, it sounds like a little bark. And of course, they live in the prairies, as you can see. Hence why they are called prairie dogs. Here we should be able to find the mountain lion. And there it is. It also has other names like cougar and puma and panther. It has the most amount of names of any known animal alive today. It's a cat that is mainly found in North America. And they are excellent climbers, as you can see how it just climbed, and I just missed the view of it. Damn, it's amazing. Okay, in this exhibit, we should be able to see the giant anteater and the Patagonian mara. There's our anteater. Those claws that it has help it to dig out of termite mounds and anthills to, of course, feed on ants and termites. Well, they don't call it the anteater for nothing. And here is the mara.
Are anteaters related to rabbits?
No.
Oh, they're not.
And this is the Patagonian mara. Believe it or not, it is incredibly fast and it has a close resemblance to the rabbit. Here we can find the Chacoan peccary. There is a whole herd of them sleeping. They are a pretty common species that you can find, especially in South America. They are closely related to pigs, warthogs, and boars, and that kind of sort. Here in this exhibit, we should be able to see the southern gerenuk and the blue duiker. There is the gerenuk. It's feeding on leaves from that tree. And unfortunately, I don't see the duiker anywhere. Oh, look at its long neck. Here is the buntbuck. This is a common species of animal that you can find in the plains of Africa. Here we can find Speck's gazelle and the lesser kudu.
Yeah, she really is. Come here, girl.
There you can see a male and a female, and there's a couple of other females here, but I don't think the gazelle is available at the moment. They are a big species of antelope. The male is instantly recognizable because of the spirals on its horns. Over here we can see that is a blue heron. And next to the heron is the polar bear. There's another one. The largest carnivorous land mammal, larger than even the tiger and a grizzly bear. They live in the Arctic and they need freezing temperatures just to not overheat. It kind of worries me how dirty that polar bear looks. Mainly because of the mud or whatnot, and it's amazing. Okay, so this has been our trip at the San Diego Zoo. I know it's pretty late, but I've been walking a lot to make sure that I didn't miss out on anything. And just at closing time at the San Diego Zoo, which is 9 p.m. It's, in my personal experience, the latest that a zoo has ever closed, or at least one where I've been at. But I hope you enjoyed this. There are quite a few things that were missing, mainly because due to maintenance and renovations. And I wish we had the giant panda soon, but hopefully they'll bring it back to the zoo. So I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day.